Hey everybody, welcome. So I'm kind of giving just a kind of current status and priority recheck and rethink of my project. I've been back to work at my 9 to 5 job for a week since I was on vacation for a week, and admittedly I'm not able to focus on programming, but I'm back. I'm going back to work. I did a little. I just took a walk and I thought about stuff and got a bunch of stuff out of my head, and that's good. And that's always good what walking does for you. And so I kind of recalculated my nearest priorities now. So I'm just going to kind of update you. There's nothing real fancy about this particular video, although I do have one thing to show you, which is kind of interesting. But so world shaping and editing. I really need to get into doing that because I was thinking about all the stuff that I thought about making for the video game, and I thought, what would be the most fun if I could do anything? And of course, I can do anything, so that's what came up. Changing the configuration of the planets' types, their moons' types, and the location, like dragging the moons around, moving the planets around the sun, so I can literally shape them, and so I should probably generate them a little bit closer. If I'm able to move those around and stuff, that'd be kind of cool. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, we still need to work on the mechanic of trading with the 2D interface, which we got to get that going in classic or custom numbering system with a 3x3 grid. I am not sure that that is going to work out. I might rethink the free type font library, or I might implement my own bitmap font, and I'll show you how to do that. And I was thinking about I could throw that into a class and make it as just as easy to use as the free type font library, only it would probably work a lot more quickly, and it won't be as, I don't want to say intrusive, but it won't be very serious library like the free type font library seems to be, which has amazing capabilities, and there's absolutely nothing stopping me actually other than wanting to do my own bitmap font class initially, and then just to put that on my resume, and then later I can upgrade to using the free type font library and really make it look everything look nice, like the custom GUI that I'm going to make from scratch. Okay, so moving on, player and planet inventories, got to get that going. I had an idea about the economy, and I'm not sure exactly what to do. This is just the very, very beginning of it. I don't know that this is even going to be the beginning of it, but something like this. Each planet's going to have credits to start with, so the player is going to start with 0, or a very small amount. You got to give the player something to start with. Or maybe it'll be, each planet buys resources from the player. It'll be something where they land and they find something, or they get some kind of a start going, or some kind of a thing. I'm not really sure. So the other thing is calculating a tier-based economy. I have to figure out how to level up the game as the player goes along, rather than just, because I'm making the game, it's hard for me to imagine incrementally being exposed to all these features and displays and things that I can put on the screen and make, and some of the other demos that I've got that I want to integrate. It's kind of hard for me to imagine incrementally being introduced to all this stuff since I've discovered it now and it's in my repertoire. So that's something I'm going to have to force myself to do, which might be a little bit fun. So of course I'm going to need some help with that, but so the world creation, solar system generation, saving and loading the state of the world, that's huge. As soon as I can get that going, then we can get saves and things like that. And I'm going to need a font for that. I'm going to need either a bitmap font or a free type. Terrain generation with Perlin noise. That's kind of a new one. I kind of have been watching the coding train with Daniel Schiffman on YouTube, and that dude is a great teacher. He is all over the place with his personality, but it certainly is fun. He makes it fun, and it's not boring. And basically, he enlightened me a little bit, actually quite a lot, as to what Perlin noise really is used for. I actually understand what it is, but I understand another level. I didn't really get the fact that if you take down the amount of Perlin of input to just very small amounts of change, that your output also will be small amounts of change, and you get a nice smooth transition from one value to another. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to have to experiment with that. I'll show you that in a second. I started doing that tonight, a little bit ago when I got back from my walk. Still got to work on mining and crafting on the 3D planets, which I'm really excited for, because mining and crafting and building, eliminating blocks, creating blocks, customizing each block's color, grid, shader type, etc. After a block is placed, all blocks are modifiable. That's going to be huge. And so I'm obviously taking my own sweet time thinking about that. I just want to implement it. You know, I have a really rough implementation right now, but I want to really fine tune it and just kind of get everything situated with that. It's going to take a little bit. No promises on when that's going to happen, but hopefully here really soon. Upgrade the sphere and the cube editor, and then I've got a single point shader editor that I'll show you here in a second that's related to the Perlin noise. So I've got this it just draws a single point. That's it. I added the noise from GLM include so that I could play with the noise, and I didn't use the noise for anything as far as graphics goes. This is it. So I loop from 0 to 1, or 0 to 2 here. That goes 0, 1, and that's it. This loops inside 0 and 1, and that's it, so that it's x1, y1, right? And then I create a point. Oops, create a point. 2D point that I send into the GLM Perlin value, or function, excuse me, and then I get this value that I print out to the screen. And then of course my function for the class here, the program, the editor for drawing a single point, allows me to edit the shader for just drawing one single point on the screen, which I thought was really helpful going forward. So I'm going to include that as a major tool in the repertoire going forward. So here's the point, and you can just, you've seen this one before where I'm just changing the type of the grid or whatever with the roll of the mouse. And let's see, you can take a screenshot of that, and then if I exit, then we have this. See, I should probably take a screenshot of that. In fact, I will. So this is the points, or the values that I got from the Perlin function for sending in those values in this loop. And I only got 4 of them, of course. So anyways, I'm still exploring that because I'm reading the, the OpenGL 4 Shading Language Cookbook, 3rd edition by David Wolf from Pact Publishing. Highly recommend that book. I bought it a couple years ago, and it's been very helpful. Okay, well, otherwise, stay tuned, because as I go, this is my file that I call Small World Space Trader Path to version 1.0. So we're still working on getting to the path to 1.0, and we're going to release another demo here soon, as soon as we get some other exciting things from this list implemented. So all right, well, thanks for watching, and this is just basically a snapshot, a current status, priority check of where I'm at in the stream of time as far as releasing my game. And I might do this, I'm thinking once a month, once every 2 weeks, once a week. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I might do an update like this with every video that I come out with next. I really, with game design, game creation, video game production, programming, all that, I'm really not going to promise anything anymore, because I've been learning that once you're successful in video game production, that you realize nothing is certain as you're putting it all together and learning the process. So this is just the next step. So thanks for being here for my next step, and I look forward to many more.